Alright, welcome to video 51. In this video, we're going to add the ability to deal with playlists when you're uploading. So I deleted I cleared out the videos from my AWS and from MLab. I deleted everything and just started new, just to keep things a little less cluttered. But what I've added is upload. You go to the upload as normal. Show you what I've added now. I've added this add to playlist button. I'll just call this video 2 test mode, test playlist. This is only a test. I'm gonna add a poster. But now we can add playlists. So similar to the other playlist menu, you're able to check off playlists. You're even able to add a new playlist before you even save the video. Put this little bar in here while everything refreshes. And you notice this gives you feedback here. It'll tell you the name of the playlist if there's one. If there's more than one, it'll list how many playlists. There's a search function, so you can search, fish out your playlists, pretty much just like how YouTube has it. Then you publish. And go to your watch video. You notice everything kicks in. There's your time, there's your view, and it even knows what playlists that you just put on there. So, quite a bit of code goes into this. One concept I'll introduce here is consolidating some of the queries that you use more than once. And maybe I might have had a user playlist query in 3 spots, or the video playlist query in multiple spots with looking up different parameters. It really doesn't matter, because when you think about it, your resolver is returning the whole object. You're just selecting the data you need. So maybe in a couple cases, I'm getting extra data that I don't need off of my playlist query. Maybe I don't need the videos every time, but by putting this into its own queries and then index.js, it just I can reuse them without having to write them out every single time. So I've done that in a few spots. And let's see, there's the channels where I've probably taken a query out and centralized it down here. Playlist tab, I did change something here. I added this playlist, and then so there's no playlist. It won't even try to map, and then it makes sure that there's videos in the playlist before it maps it as well. Otherwise, you get null. So just a conditional here: avoid errors when you don't have any playlists or you have a video without. If you have a video, or if you have a playlist without videos, it's not gonna show it, because now there is certain, we have to come up with a new query. And if you look in our schema for playlists, new mutation called create empty playlist. It just takes the string. Just easier to do it that way. Then I could have put a boolean in create playlist, but it's just easier for me at this point just to make a whole new mutation. Create empty playlist. It just creates with no videos. So then in our uploads, we can have that drop down, and we can use that create empty playlist mutation, of course adding it into the grand scheme of things. And using something very similar with the checkboxes. But in this case, I actually took it out a step further, and I'm just keeping the selected playlists, just the titles in its own array. And you can handle that on the clicks. You can handle moving things in and out of arrays on clicks. And you want to study some of this code. And I change it from just the playlist. I do a similar thing as I did before, where your filtered playlists are what's being seen. So that's what gets passed down to the component here, is the filtered playlists, not just the raw props that you get. And this big long thing for handling the checks, similar to what we just implemented in the video page, the video tab. Except in this case, we don't have to do is in-depth comparison because there's only the one video that we're dealing with. So I just create state and compare it to that selected playlists. We can do all kinds of things here. Flip-flopping the checkbox, and if it wasn't checked and now someone's checking it, we're gonna get that. We're gonna check to see if that title is in the selected playlist. If it's not, you get a -1. So then we'll push that title in, and of course the opposite. If it's not, then we'll do a filter, and we'll filter everything that doesn't equal that title. So that means if the title's there, this filtered array, it will not be there. And then we just reset selected playlist to filtered. And then we're just this deals with the title, just to shrink the long titles. And again, you want to study out the code here. It's quite a bit of code dealing with all the different things, from your add to playlist to your one playlist gets a title to 2 playlists, 3 playlists. You get filtered.length or selected playlist.length, depending on if you have to filter it down if they're adding one or they're removing one. So there's quite a bit of state that goes in there. Handle search is pretty similar. Keep track of the search text and state, look for that key code of enter, and then convert everything to lowercase using the includes operator for your array, and resetting the filtered playlists. And the filtered playlists are what is seen in the list, while selected playlist is what is checked. Setting your search text, and of course setting checkboxes. And doing that off a set timeout in the beginning, and of course setting playlists. Let's see if we can find that. Setting playlists. Set playlist. Okay, yeah, you start out with all of them with your prop set data that get user playlist. So the filter playlist starts out as all of them, and then it can only be filtered down by whatever you type into the search text. And dealing with state to disable, just like we disabled the publish button, we disable. We used the start adornment in inputs here too. That was something new. You can actually add an adornment to an input. I found that search icon and use that. Okay, here's disable. So we disabled the button, made some state for that. So you're gonna want to look at all the code. There's quite a bit going on. It gets a little repetitive, so I didn't want to drag it out to be like 5 videos long to display everything. But you know the drill. Got all your styles, and we're just mostly just redoing everything that we did before, with some funky state management to keep everything in line, and consolidating our queries that we want to use more than once. and then just importing them when we